Mabuhay and welcome to Pride Talks with Khen, your podcast dedicated to the LGBTQ community. We will talk about issues, challenges, and achievements in the day-to-day lives of our rainbow family. Join us and talk about our sweet pride. Hello, everyone. I am so excited and thrilled for we will be launching our first episode of Pride Talks with Ken. LGBT in the corporate setting. You know what? As a member of the LGBT, I do have also my fair share of experiences in the corporate world. But you know what? In based on 2021 survey by the Corporate Equality Index conducted by Human Rights Campaign Foundation, for international companies. So 14 out of 20 Fortune ranked companies, receive 100% based on four criteria. So what are those? First, we have the non-discrimination policies, equitable benefits for LGBTQ workers and their families, support an inclusive environment, and corporate social responsibility. You know what? Including those companies are Walmart, Apple, JPMC, Google, Chevron, AT&T, and Amazon. But those are for international companies. Now, how about in the local setting here in the Philippines? Based on the 2018 studies conducted Philippine Corp, by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce and Research, and of course being supported by the Embassy of Kingdom of Netherlands here in the Philippines, you know what, a survey of 100 companies here in the Philippines, it turns out that out of 100, there, zero. We got zero Philippines-based companies implementing the non-discrimination policies. So the question here is that what are we still missing in the local setting? Why majority of the companies have some challenges? So for us to understand and to answer that questions, I invited two of my close friends, and I consider them my mentor in terms of the understanding about the LGBT community. And I'm so honored to introduce to you my former colleagues, uh, former DNI leads, and advocate for diversity and inclusion. All right, so let's all welcome Ralphie and Dandan.
Hi!
Hello, hi
Hi
mga
Hello.
everyone!
kapatid.
Hi
Hello.
Ken! Hi Dandan!
Hello. Hi, Ralphie. Hi, Ken.
Hello. So, kamusta naman kayo? So, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We're so honored to have you here in our show.
Of
Kamusta
course, it's
naman?
also an honor for us to join you, Ken.
Siyempre,
Yeah, same
support
here.
lang. Ano ba?
So, yeah, guys. So, based on the first question, so what are we still missing in terms of the implementations of those four criteria dito sa Philippines? Diba, yung sa recent 2018 survey, parang lumalabas na 0 out of 100 yung nag implement yung non-discrimination policy. Diba natin?
0 out of 100. So, let me just share my experience. Kasi during those time, actually, I started doing my consultancy stint with the local bank. Um,
Mm.
I don't want to say the name of the bank, but it is the largest bank in the Philippines. And based on my experience there, though they are not implementing by the rules, they're quite how should I say this? Sensitive
Mm.
about it. So there's already a culture that they are observing if you are like this, if this is your preference, they do paano ba? Parang they do respect that. Actually, that's one of my dilemma before because I have never worked for any local companies before, and it's my very first time na local company that I'll be working with. But it turns out really good because nung una, in my experience, based on my experience, um, Noong una, they do have hint that I am gay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know for what reasons because they didn't ask me right then and there. Pero my boss kasi when she arrived from the maternity leave, she asked me politely, Dan, what's your preference, ganyan? And how do you parang adjust yourself? Which is very in our case and based on our experience with my previous company, yun yung tamang approach.
Yeah.
And I guess even though that they're not implementing it formally, there's already a culture surrounding it in that specific company.
Yeah, that's good, no? Because they already have established that kind of culture. So, those LGBT who worked in that company are very welcoming there. Although they don't have any that kind of strong policies, but still, the people there, especially the management,
Right.
are practicing that kind of values at this company.
Question, sorry Ken.
Hmm.
Does it have to be in English?
No, no more, no, no more. Of course,
Okay.
no, no, no more. You can Tagalog naman.
Uh,
Tagalog.
okay.
Yes.
Well, for
How about
me,
you?
I haven't had experience working in a local firm. Most of the companies I've worked with are multinational firms, and when I started working with multinational firms, they already have this policies on anti-discrimination. They also have already a set up working group that is already set up and structured for diversity and inclusion. The well, the company that the previous company that I worked with before was a consulting firm. We don't have any LGBT groups, but they do have anti-discrimination policies. And with that, that's already a step. I think what's missing currently is awareness, and some companies don't have that information where to source or a model or an example. But since people are already starting talking about it, some companies, multinational companies, are already implementing anti-discriminatory policies. What else? The CSRs, equitable benefits for LGBT people in their companies, and having a structured diversity and inclusion or a pride network in these firms. Local companies are slowly noticing it.
Mhm.
At least there's a step. It might be slow, but hopefully we are getting there. Um, I believe the media campaign of these companies, the multi national firms that are actually getting together, setting up and structuring LGBT networks as a group. For example, we have the PFIP. This is a segue for me to say that there is actually a local group of uh, it's not only local companies, international companies as well. Philippine Financial Inter-Industry Pride that started 7, 8 years ago with 5 pioneer companies, but most of these companies are actually multinational companies and international groups that started it. But now they're actually encouraging, accepting, and lobbying as well to other local companies to join them. And this awareness is actually bringing other companies to know about, oh, there is something like this that we can actually incorporate in our companies, even if we are local. And this awareness is actually helping a lot of LGBT communities to know that we are actually valid employees. We are valid LGBT people working in local companies. And with having these benefits, we may be able to copy it, right? And actually, we are already having these talks on the SOGI bill in the government, having different structures from different companies and sharing the best practices of these companies. These are already small steps. We are there. We are slowly getting there. But the thing is, we are in progress. It's a work in progress for everyone. So hopefully, local companies will have this awareness, information. They will be able to know where to source. And PFIP is one of these groups. And it's not only PFIP. There are actually people from the government who are helping us out, lobby on some of the bills. Hopefully, we'll have a law on having these anti-discriminatory policies that we have, not only at work, as well in the government, in the whole country.
Yes,
So
right.
that's what I'm getting from now. But yeah, it's a slow progress. At least there's progress and
Right.
there is hope. And with that hope, local companies would hopefully be joining the bandwagon, helping us out, promote these anti-discriminatory policies and equitable benefits for LGBT people.
Yes, that's right. So, yung kagandahan ngayon kasi at this time is that madami na yung mga companies are getting involved in terms of they're willing to know about the LGBT community, right?
Yes.
So, I wanted to know, so as a member of LGBT working in the corporate, so I want to know your coming out story. How's the experience? Medyo mahirap ba? And is there a second coming out story when you joined the corporate realm? Yeah.
Go ahead,
Natawa ako sa,
Dad.
natawa ako sa coming out story.
Go ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
Nung pumasok ako dun sa company natin tatlo, baklang bakla na ako. Wala akong pakialam sa inyong lahat. It's just, di ba? Kasi ganun lang din naman yun. I mean, for me, it's a matter of respect.
Mhm.
That is the correct word. Respect.
Totoo. Respect. Respeto lang. I mean, kung kaya mo ko respeto, I can respect you as well. It doesn't matter whether you are cisgender, whether you are gay, or I mean, whether you are part of LGBT plus. Ang keyword, ang actually key doon is yung respect lang talaga eh.
Yes.
Pero ako kasi nung una, the onset, kasi ako, paano ba? Actually, to be honest with you, even though I'm very, very open,
Mhm.
I'm introvert. So, introvert talaga ako. Actually,
Yes.
alam ni Ralphie yan kasi even sa PFIP meetings, kahit ako yung lead, I don't engage with people as in.
Yep.
Pero, kung kailangan mo talagang mag-engage sa tao because of your work, well, ibang usapan yun. So, ganun lang din naman sa akin. I mean, pagpasok ko, hindi ko sasabihin na, ay, bakla ako, ganyan. No. I mean, marirealize lang nila na bakla ako. And that's just it. If you have any questions, if you have any questions about my preference, then I'm more than willing to answer those questions. And yun lang, ayoko lang yung automatic branding. Kasi yung iba parang sabi, ay, ito, pag sinabi mo kasi I mean, the usual connotation, I mean, I'm not saying all, pero usual connotation kasi pagbading ka, dapat ganito, which is not. Na-appreciate ko yung mga taong nag-effort na sasabihin nila para, Dan, how do you want us to call you? Ba?
Yes.
Ano bang preference mo lang? Yun yung form of respect na makukuha mo, which is, yun, sobrang appreciated.
That's good.
Yan.
That's good, Dad.
Very welcoming environment. No? And kitang-kita daw ba kung paano ka mag-flourish from that organization, di ba?
I don't have a coming out story. For me, there is, well, I can't remember that I really came out, but coming out is actually a work in progress for me. It's a journey. You don't come out once, you don't come out twice, because for me as an LGBT person, you need to live your truth. And living your truth, you don't live your truth just by yourself. You live your truth with affecting everybody. So you come out to your family, you come out to your friends, you come out to your church, you come out to your school. So there are a lot of chances for you coming out. And what is coming out for me is me accepting my truth, living my truth of who I am. So ever since, I never thought that I need to come out because this is who I am right away. Um,
Tak, laban na laban.
Yes, when I was a kid, I already knew before coming into elementary, coming into grade school, I already knew who I am, and I already accepted the truth that this is me,
Mhm.
and that's not it. I have two siblings, and my two siblings are also gay. And I was thinking that me living my truth as who I am from the start when I was a kid, helped my siblings to get to know themselves as well, who they are, and actually live their own truth. So I have a brother who's also gay, and I have a sister, my youngest actually sibling, who is actually a lesbian.
Mhm.
So that kind of family actually is okay. So that kind of family, the upbringing that I got, made me a stronger, confident person to live my own personality, my own character, and by sharing who I am, I don't think I need to tell people that, hey, I'm an LGBT person, I'm a gay person. But people right away knew because of the stereotyping of I'm effeminate. I am more on my gender expression of being soft, being more of a feminine side. So those things. But at work, of course, at work you need to be very professional, and then I need to adhere to the either male or female corporate attire. So since I don't want to confuse anyone, I just adhere to conform to the male gender because that's the body that I am right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that this is who I am with my body, but this
Mhm.
is
Right.
what you see right now is who I am, and that is my truth. So I don't think I need to come out. I just need to live the truth of who I am. But every time, every group of people, you need to come out. And how to come out is just live your true self, live your
Right.
true reality. So
Correct.
that's how it happened to me.
So basically, yung mga takeaways ko sa inyo sa sinabi niyo should be first respect and of course live your truth talaga, no? So
Yep.
well
The
said.
term
Really.
respect really is important because
Correct. Yeah.
first you respect yourself, you respect who you are, your character, and then you learn to respect other people.
That's right.
You don't need to accept things.
Mhm.
You just need to know them and respect that there are people like them and there are people like me, right?
Yeah, that's right. Really respect talaga the human right na deserve naman ng lahat talaga, no? Regardless of who you are.
Yeah.
Now, as an LGBT working in the corporate, I think certain challenges are addressed.
I'm sorry, Ken. I can't barely hear you. Can you speak louder?
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, can you speak
Okay.
louder? Thank you.
Is everything okay na? Can you
Yes,
hear me now?
yes.
All right. So yun nga, since you guys we're working in the corporate world, I wanted to
Mm.
ask you, um, what are the challenges? I mean, being part of the LGBT, is there any challenges in terms of the career progression, in terms of leveling up to a much higher positions in the organization?
Yes, there are. I myself experienced that several times.
Mhm.
From my previous company, from the current company. It is really up to you how to help yourself. Learn to know people who can help you as well. Find the ways to make yourself be recognized with the work that you do, that you are actually eligible for promotion, eligible for a specific role. So it's not only the promotion or the role, but sometimes the recognition of your colleagues. I think LGBT people are really keen into being good with their work or better sometimes because they see that since they're LGBT, they are lacking on some aspect and they try to be better with work, with their career, with their school, with their university. And that is innate actually with most of LGBT people. And you already know right away that you deserve all of these things. You just need to find a person who can help you out or strengths or good people who can actually steer you to either promotion or recognition.
Yes. Correct.
Just want to supplement that. Because based on my case,
Mhm.
I never really wanted to progress. To be honest, I just wanted to have yung work na that would challenge me every day. I mean, moving up the corporate ladder,
Yes.
it's not really my priority before, but
Mhm.
there are instances siguro nag-aspire din ako to look for a higher position. But then again, if you're gonna relate my preference as a gay person
Mhm.
and moving up to another role, I don't think naging problema ko siya with my previous company. And even with dun sa consulting stint ko with a local bank, actually nagulat din ako na yung mga boss doon, even though they're, yung sinasabi nilang sagrado katoliko, na very conservative,
Yeah.
accepted nila ako na ganito ako and na-recognize nila yung efforts na nagawa ko for them. But then again, based on experience, kasi during PFIP, syempre there's a lot of companies are sharing their best practices
Correct.
and also based on their own experiences. It really helps. Actually alam to ni Ravi, alam din to ni Ken na I had difficulties before when it comes to implementing branding related stuff for DNI
Yeah.
because of that one person. Pero I'm having difficulties. Pero one of the key na talagang tumulong sa akin during those times is know your ally.
Yes.
So yun, for some good reason in that company kasi I have good allies. I know the contacts who to speak with when it comes to this kind of matter. So when it escalated, wala. I mean, I won the case. So dun ko napatunayan na sometimes it's not who you are, it's who you know
Yeah,
in
it's
the
who you
company.
know. Yes.
Yes.
I agree on that.
So yun lang. And who you know and who's your ally. So
Correct.
yun, which does really matter. Yun lang.
At saka at the end of the day, yung nagmamatter pa din yung skills and yung performance mo, no?
Oo,
Yes,
oo
of course,
naman.
that
Oo
matters.
naman.
But you
Pero,
would gauge yourself already, and you know
Correct.
that you
Correct.
deserve this. You just need some
correct.
help.
Yes.
So having allies actually and good allies at that would really help you.
Yes. And
And,
speaking
and
of ally,
wait lang, Ken.
yes,
Actually, it
go ahead.
doesn't really mean na hindi ko siya na-experience. I would say na hindi siya magiging hindrance. But
Mhm.
basing on the other people's experiences, yes, may another layer of challenges if you're up if you're up for better position, if you are an LGBT. Totoo
Mhm.
naman yan. Totoo yan. Hindi ko yan i-deny.
But it's not only LGBT. We are similarly experiencing what happened to women actually. So
Yes,
women are
same
Yes.
also
thing, same thing.
experiencing the
Right.
same thing. So
Yes.
it's minority having the same issues on promotions, things like
Correct.
that, or
Mm.
going up the corporate ladder. So we have all of these things for women actually,
Mhm.
focus only for women and their career. And now it's the turn of LGBT. See?
Correct. So, yun nga, no. Tama nga yung sinabi nyo kanina. Whom you know din. And at the same time, it's not only LGBT yung affected sa ganyan. So lahat ng
Mm.
gender regardless kung babae ka man or lalaki. So yun. So I think what matters dito is that you need to prove yourself talaga no in all aspects and ask for help to to your allies and to the person na kailangan mo ding hingan ng tulong talaga. Now, kasi na we talk about yung topic na yan regarding dun sa corporate ladder and representation. So nowadays, we're always asking for the representations no ng men and women in the organizations, in the management. Like say for example, in the executive committee, it should be dapat 50% women, 50% men, no, na mag-work on the executive role. Now, do you think that LGBT are getting enough representation in the corporate? And what are the best ways to represent ourselves?
Sige. When it comes to
Kasi ano eh,
representation,
'di ba? What I have
um,
noticed, medyo
sige,
yung
sige.
balance, yung balance ng representations ng LGBT dun sa
Mm.
executive role compared to
Mhm.
others, parang hindi gano'n
Totoo.
kadami.
Totoo naman eh. Oo.
Yun.
I guess it has something to do with the acceptance level din ng society natin, our
Mhm.
culture, na not so many LGBT people are fond of telling telling people that they are gay, even na especially if they are on executive position. So um mm, ngayon kasi siguro paano ba? Meron ako sigurong not actually kakila. I mean, personal experience, I know na this specific person is gay, pero he doesn't really tell people that he is, nor deny it.
Mhm.
Pero I mean, I heard someone told me na, ito kasing person na to, if tinanong mo naman siya if he's gay, definitely, ano naman niya, sasabihin naman niya, he won't deny it. But, hindi rin naman niya pinagsisigawan. So yun, may mga ganon kasi. So, ang hindrance doon is, I guess, um, yung division between your role.
Mhm.
Siguro yung mga tao natatakot silang magtanong if this guy is gay kasi
Correct,
mataas yung
correct.
posisyon niya. But
Yes.
in my case, since alam ko na gay siya, and ako naman, hindi naman masyadong malayo yung posisyon ko sa kanya. But then again, I don't ask anymore kasi accepted ko siya who he is. Yeah. So, parang ang nakikita ko is his performance, kung gaano siya kagaling mag-manage ng tao, not him as being as a gay person. So, it wouldn't matter to me at all. Kaya hindi ako nagtatanong. Although, you know me, Ken, I mean, if I do have questions, I'll ask you straight in your face.
Yes,
ganun
oo
kasi ako.
naman
I
kasi
mean,
medyo
I want,
nakaka-awkward yung gano'n.
correct. But then again, kasi siya, tanggap ko siya kung ano siya. And yun, what matters to me is kung yung working relationship. Kumbaga, nagde-deliver ba tong tao na to? I mean, magaling ba talaga siya mag-manage ng tao? Ganun. Things like that.
Mhm. Right.
Well, that's true. Because in our culture, it's quite difficult to approach someone and ask, right? And especially someone with a position at work. The question is, having a high position or an executive role.
Mhm.
Do we really need to put a gender on it? I
Oo,
mean,
diba? No? Oo, totoo.
I mean, the of course that person reached the success already.
Mhm.
The representation, but we can say yes, we need to have someone to say that
That could
I
represent.
am an LGBT person and
Yes.
I'm an executive manager, and I can actually represent people who are in the lower ranks who are LGBT, right? But with our culture, with other aspects that are influencing someone who is already in an executive position, I think it's really quite difficult for them to just say that, hey, I'm an LGBT person and I can help you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I think that's the one that's yung mga challenges talaga. No?
Yes,
the,
yes.
there are some people who are like that, and I really admire them because they are role models for me, right?
Mm.
So we'll see. Hopefully, there will be more people who will be brave enough, especially in the executive ladder, to say their truth and say that I'm here for you people and I can help you out. I can be your role model. But for now, I think there are not a lot of those that we can say that yes, we are represented as LGBT in a executive level, right? There are already. We have some people from PFIP, right?
Yes, correct.
Hopefully there'll be more, especially in corporate. Say in corporate, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different
Yes, yes.
perspective, it's a different culture. So it really depends on the culture, the people, and things that affect them before they say that I'm LGBT and I'm an executive person.
Actually, Ralphie, mas nakakatuwa pa ngang makita or ma-experience if you are dealing with an ally or with a straight guy and a true ally,
Yes.
yung tipong alam kahit straight guy siya, kahit ano siya, sagrado katoliko, pero mararamdaman mo yung effort niya to help us out in the
Yes.
organization. Parang ano bang kailangan nyo? Saan ba kayo nahihirapan? Meron ba kaming
Yes.
pwedeng itulong? Mas nakakatuwa pa nga yun sa totoo lang. Based
Totoo.
on based sa experience
Based on
natin na
experience test,
oo,
yes.
Yes,
usually
yes.
kasi actually kapag if you're gay and if you are on executive level, for some reason parang ang snub-snub, parang walang pakialam sa
Oo
mga
nga
sa
'no. May
DNI
mga tao
staff.
talagang gano'n.
Oo, totoo yan. Even though that they're openly gay, I know VPs before na openly gay, kasi nagpakasal pa, ganyan-ganyan. But then again, hindi mo sila mararamdaman sa diversity and inclusivity. Pero
Correct.
pero in contrary, merong mga straight guy na talagang true ally na tutulungan ka nila kung saan ka nahihirapan, kung meron mang challenges. Which is
Yes.
mas nakakatuwa.
Yep. So maybe it all boils down on the privilege as well,
Mm. Yeah, tama.
right? So the ally who knows that he is more privileged and maybe he'll be able to help out LGBT people than an LGBT executive who is actually as well privileged but doesn't think needs to help out other LGBT people.
Yes, that's right. So
So
basically
it's
yung mga nasabi niyo yun yung sa next question natin, how we could push to the real representation. Yun nga yung support from the ally and
yes.
sa ally talaga. Yung tama yung agree ako dun sa sinabi ni Dandan na mas supportive pa yung mga allies rather than those members ng executive committee na LGBT. It's really good talaga no, if you have a strong ally support.
Yeah.
And know the people that you can actually work with.
Yes.
Hindi yung puro boka, puro keme na, tutulong ako. Tapos ending, pag nandiyan na yung problem.
Wala,
Wala
iiwanan.
na.
Wrong.
Tama kayo.
Sorry to say.
That's the reality and that's the nangyayari naman talaga regardless if kung saang organization ka man. Although kahit yung organization na may strong policies and strong pride network, still experiencing that kind of situation.
But there are also LGBT executives who are really good. I know from companies from PFIP that they are actually having this big banner that they are LGBT and executive and they are frontlining, front runner of their companies with regards to DNI and LGBT issues and concerns. So you can't just take them out. But there are people. Yun nga.
Case-to-case basis.
Case-to-case basis talaga siya eh. And I think it's also a corporate culture.
Tama. And then, now so when we talk about yun sa mga about sa leadership sa executive role, I know that you guys naging lead ng diversity and inclusion and You've been doing a great work in representing your brand, no? So, as a leader, how can you create a safe space for LGBT employees? Can you share some the highlights of your career wherein you help them creating a safe workplace for all employees? I know may mga challenges yon, but we really wanted to know paano yun na-overcome yung mga ganong situation. Let's start with you, Dandan.
Um, Kasi, I mean, I don't think it's enough na you have just the will to do it, to create a safe space within the corporate world. It also matter na yung company mo does support this kind of initiatives. Kasi kung walang, I mean, it's like tone from the top, kung tawagin nila, na if you don't have if you don't have the support from the management, if you don't have the support, and if this initiative is not really actually part of the priority initiatives of the company, I don't think it will work on your own.
So, do you
So,
think the bottom to top approach is also applicable?
um, parang mas mahirap yata siya, yung bottom to top approach. Kasi, um, natawa lang ako sa term, bottom to top approach. Okay. Hindi nga, sorry. Pero yung bottom to top approach, mas mahirap siya in a sense kasi sometimes yung no matter how the company says that they don't look at the people regardless of their position, at the end of the day, it will still matter. I mean, I have experienced this firsthand. Na I was supposed, di ba, Rafi, I was supposed to be sent out in Hong Kong um, for an LGBT conference. But the company can't. It's because I'm just a senior analyst. Okay. 'Di ba? Parang very encouraging na okay, I'm just a senior analyst but I'm heading your DNI your DNI pillar for the company. But then again, you support diversity but you can't send me to Hong Kong. It's because I'm just a senior analyst. Yun yung one of the challenges doon. Pero ako kasi being I know na sabi nila, I'm not sure, kung ano siya, written in black and white. But then again, knowing me as a person, I won't just accept that. Give me a good explanation why, and I will give, and also, ang ginawa ko rin nun, same thing. Ginage ko yung, yung, ano bang tawag mo, sponsor, director sponsor for DNI back then. Bakit ganito yung nangyari? Napaka-unfair na, even though, because of my position, I can't do this. Tapos yun, nag-ano naman kami, nag-reach out kami sa nag-reach out naman siya sa regional. It's just that, it's a corporate thing. So, nakakatawa lang. Which is yun yung gusto kong i-point out na, yung bottom to top approach, mas mahirap siya. Mas mahirap talaga siyang gawin kapag nandun ka na sa corporate world. But then again, if you have the buy-in of your stakeholders from the top, it would definitely better to penetrate. It will definitely better. That's definitely much better path to go kapag if it's coming from top.
Yes, so I also believe that.
So you have the knowledge and the expertise to represent
Yeah,
your organization.
exactly.
Bakit
Totoo.
pigilan
Totoo
yung
yan.
ganun?
Exactly.
So sad lang to know na it matters your position.
Yeah, so it really matters if you have the buy-in of management, especially the executive level, because that will really help you, and you will feel that you are not alone battling all of these things and issues and trying to help out LGBT people at work. It's not only you. It's not your own battle. It is actually shared by everyone. Having allies as well will really help you out. how to create a safe space, there are a lot of ways, there are a lot of channels for you. Um, you start with saying, with in this meeting, in this group, it is a safe environment, it's a safe place, nobody can actually put judgment on you. And with that, you as well ask people around, will that be comfortable, will that be acceptable for you, that this is a safe place? That is already a start. In a meeting, in a conference, you start telling people that this is a safe environment, that you can be who you are, who you want to be, who you truly are. You can be yourself. You don't need to hide anything at work or at that environment that you are having that conference, having that meeting. That for me is a start, helping people realize that we have something like this, and you don't need to be hiding yourself.
Yeah. We're raising, we're raising awareness and, promoting, uh, through education and through campaigns din naman talaga.
Mhm, mhm.
It
Yun
all
naman
boils
talagang
down.
start eh.
It all boils down
Awareness.
in educating people, really,
Yeah,
because people
awareness.
have a hesitancy. It's a human nature. I mean, it's natural to humans to react to something that they don't understand.
Correct, correct.
So, for them to accept things, for them to understand further why is this happening, you have to educate them. Yun
Yes,
ang yung
yes. That's the
pinaka-core na.
first thing that you need to do.
Information campaign. Tell
Correct.
them. Not once, not twice, but the rest of the year. Tell them every
Yes,
day.
yes. Kasi hindi siya, hindi siya overnight lang eh, na pag na-educate mo
Yes.
to, automatically
It has to go through
agad.
it has to go through transition. Ken, tama yan. Totoo.
Mm-mm. Totoo.
And you can't do it by yourself. You need the
Yes, you need support.
community. You need your
Correct.
managers.
Kailangan mo ng support group. Katulad natin, I mean, we're actually came from different LOBs of the company, di ba? Pero,
Yes.
Yes.
yun, we have formed an ally. Parang, okay
Yes.
lang. Parang, I mean, o sige, we'll push through with this project. Parang, o sino na mag-work, o tayo lang. O, okay lang. At least, we have each other. And, di ba?
Yes.
Saka,
And we
saka
know.
diba?
Yes,
Saka,
totoo yan,
alam,
totoo yan.
alam natin magsusuportahan tayo sa bandang huli. And eventually, ang ganda din naman ng mga end results ng projects natin before for
Yes.
DNI.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
Eh, yung mga bagay na nakakamiss ngayon, kasi
Yes.
daming pending. Diba?
Actually, nung nagpunta ako ng Singapore I think that was 2019. Sorry, I excerpt ko lang.
Go
Kasi
lang.
in Singapore, they don't really encourage foreigners to join the Pride March. So,
Pink dot.
oo, yung pink dot. So, medyo nalungkot talaga ako. Sabi ko ganun kasi it's been a while. I mean, since 2012 or 2013,
Yes.
laging
You mean
nag-a-attend ako
this
ng
year, the
Pride.
pink dot?
Nung sa 2019, noong
2019.
2019. Kasi sabi ko, almost every year talagang uma-attend ako ng Pride March and na-miss ko yun. Tapos nung nandun ako sa Singapore, so parang feeling ko suppressed ako. Hindi ako makapag-express ang feelings ko about Pride March. Yun. Alam mo yun, so medyo nalungkot ako doon.
Yeah, pero yan na ba talaga? Or that's for 2019 only? But going forward, siguro naman maging
Hindi, actually, as of now, it's a law for them. Mm. Yeah.
Grabe.
Sad to know naman yung ganyan.
Yes, ang sad, no?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move ako dun sa next question ko regarding dun sa equitable benefits, dun sa mga benefits ng LGBT. So I know that there are a lot of organizations or some of the organizations that already established mga benefits for their LGBT people. How can we give, ano sa tingin niyo pa yung mas ma-improve pa to provide an equal benefit sa LGBT? Kailangan ba talaga muna may masapasan na law before they act on a certain benefit? Or
Hindi naman.
more on
Hindi
the
naman.
internal or the company's na talaga yun?
Well, from the PFIP perspective, there are companies who are already providing their employees, LGBT employees, with benefits for medical, which includes their domestic partner. Some companies are providing instead of maternity leave or paternity leave, there is what they call paternal leave. Parental leave. They call it
Okay.
parental leave, and that doesn't really say if that parental leave is a woman or a man as for maternity or a paternity. It doesn't say. So if you are an LGBT person with a child and you need to take a leave because of having that child, it doesn't matter if you're LGBT. You still fall on that parental leave,
Ah,
right? Then
Eh,
there are
saan lumabas yung child mo? Hindi, joke lang.
adoption.
Joke lang.
Some people are already doing
Joke
adoption,
lang.
and there are already benefits for people having that process of adopting. So there are
Yeah.
leaves already provided for that. There are
it's
some
for
companies.
the Philippines. In
Yes,
Philippines.
there are some. Yeah, there are some companies. I learned that they are also giving benefits for HIV people with HIV
Oh.
for their
Galing.
medical. So they are already included in the HMO. I also learned there are some. I can't remember if testing is also included in there and in their HMO, but I think there are already companies doing that. So we are progressing slowly, but at
Good
least
to know.
people are being given these opportunities in their medical, in their family life. I'm hoping one day that they include giving leaves for LGBT people taking care of senior citizen parents.
Oh,
I
Right.
haven't
nice.
I haven't heard of that yet, but
Uh-huh.
there are a lot of LGBT people who doesn't have a child but taking care of their parents who are old
Parents.
or having some medical issues,
Uh-huh.
but that's not yet covered. I haven't heard any companies who are giving that, and hopefully one day we have some companies who are giving that as well.
Yes, yes, that's right. Maganda. Maganda yung mga
Actually, itong mga klaseng benefits na to, the reason why it keeps on progressing, it's not, I mean, part of it, the business case, is yung competitive
Yes.
environment ng ano natin ng industry natin. I mean,
But it's
if you
not
want,
only the corporate industry. It's
lahat,
already
talaga?
doing
lahat
that.
ng
Yes,
sector.
it is already.
Correct.
We have Coke. I remember we have Coke, and
Mm,
they have their own representation in PFIT, and they are
mm.
really good. And I'm hearing a lot of good things from that company as well. So
So,
we'll
lilipat ka
see.
na? Charot.
And Coke is not corporate. Coke is a manufacturing soft drinks,
I
right?
mean,
So
kasi 'di ba, if you really want to get the best people in the industry,
yes,
kailangan mo ng
you need to
magandang
attract the
benefit.
benefits.
Kami naman sa
Yes.
hindi,
Oo.
mga LGBT talaga, magagaling naman talaga in all aspect talaga. And it helps yung sa progress ng
Ah,
company
not
nila.
all. Charot. Hindi, joke lang. Not all. Charot. Charot lang.
So yeah, that actually boils down to the business case of what is
Correct.
actually
Sabi
benefiting the
naman.
company if you are providing these benefits to LGBT people. So you
Yes.
attract very good LGBT employees, right? And you
Mhm.
retain them.
Right. That's good. Kasi kahit paano, no, little by little, it's step by step na, more and more companies are involving na dun sa mga benefits for LGBT. But I'm not really sure if there's already a benefit to the transgender people na to help them in terms of their transitioning stage. I'm not really
There
sure.
are companies. I learned there are companies, corporate companies providing I think providing some benefits on transgender people who are in the process of transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ah,
that's a good, actually good benefit for a
correct.
transgender person in their company, right? That they
Yes,
don't
that's
need to
right.
worry about these things, that they are being covered by their companies. Um,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of progress. We are getting there, and I like the term that it's getting better.
Yes, yes. Yun yung kagandahan, at least more ang dami ng mga engagement ng ganyan, madami ng mga policies na pinapatupad, and We can't wait to.
Hopefully, a lot of local companies will be able to
Yes,
learn
yes. Kasi
about it,
majority
and
nag-i-implement yung mga international organizations dito sa Philippines, eh, 'di ba?
yes,
But hopefully
multinational
soon.
companies, international groups, they are actually
Mhm.
copying what is being structured outside
Correct. At
of
least
our country.
may model na talaga
And
sila.
these are actually role models that can be followed, that can be copied, emulated. Hopefully, they learn about it. They learn the benefits
Correct.
of doing all of these things, providing these benefits to LGBT people, and learn the business case why, right?
Okay. And yung mga model companies naman nagta-top sila sa mga surveys in terms dun sa, promoting a safe space sa lahat. And it's
Mhm.
a good din talaga na yun yung magiging basis talaga ng mga local company. Hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully, we'll
Now,
get there one day.
correct. Itong last question ko, I mean, second to the last question ko, it's medyo quite controversial. Have you ever been in a position to experience a homophobic leader? What was the experience look like, and how do you manage it? I
I
know,
did. I
yeah.
had experiences, not only local, also internationally.
Okay.
So I was a consultant for some times, and I've been working in different locations in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you, you you get to experience bullying, discrimination, because they with me, you would notice right away that I have that feminine side, very
Mm.
soft spoken, but uh you just need to stay professional, do the work that you need to do, respect that person even if that person is having some issues with regards to who you are, but it's work. At the end of the day, you give your work. If you can't withstand the bullying, for me it's either if you can stay and you can just ignore that bullying, or if you can, if there's a way for you to escalate it to someone who would
Mm-hmm.
be able to help you out, find an ally maybe. uh you don't need to battle it by yourself. You need help, you need someone. But if you can't, then try to look for another company, because I think you don't need to stress yourself out with someone or a boss who doesn't like you in the first place, right?
But there were
um
there are times naman ba na you try to escalate the matter, or you just
Yes, I did. I had instances
okay.
that I had to escalate it
Mm-hmm.
to HR, because I myself don't know how to react to it. Especially if the bullying is offensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do anything about my work, what I'm doing. The attack is on me
Mm-hmm.
and who I am. And how can you work if you can't be who you are at work, right?
Correct.
You can't be your true self. And at the first place, why did they hire you if they didn't like you, right?
Totoo. Yes. Correct. Agree.
So try to find a company that will help you be who you are, be
Mm-hmm.
your true self, and be at peace with yourself, right? So I try to avoid that kind of stress.
Yes, I'm sure ikaw meron. Meron kang bala dyan.
Well, in my case naman kasi, aminado na ako na napaka-strong ng personality ko.
Mhm.
And I would say things straight to your face if I'm no that I am that if I'm in the correct position.
Mhm.
In pero lumulugar din ako. It doesn't really mean that if I'm in the correct position and I can do this, hindi ko naiisipin kung ano yung magiging estado nung kabilang end.
Mhm.
But then again, for me kasi in ideal scenario, um, if me being the advocate, definitely if it's affecting my job,
Mhm.
you have to escalate it. You really have to. Kasi mahirap na yung work mo, and if you're adding another layer of toughness in your work, mas lalo mo pinapahirap yung yung trabaho mo. So if you have a way to address it, bakit hindi? 'Di ba? Pero meron ding instances na I mean I mean on a not ideal instance na ako kaya kong i-absorb kung ano yung ginagawa sa akin as long as I can deliver. Well, I think hindi ko sinasabing tama, pero kung it would create yung status quo, it would still harmonize things even though na medyo on the losing end ka, bakit hindi? Pero if you really can, which is sa akin, sa case ko talaga, I always see to it na nadidinig yung boses ko no matter kung ano mang posisyon ko sa company, kung regular employee ba ako or consultant ba ako or whatsoever. Kasi hindi ko rin naman tinitingnan kung ano yung posisyon ng tao on the other end na nag-aargabyado sa akin eh. I mean, I don't care if you're director, I don't care if you're VP, as long pag alam ko na tama ako at alam ko na pag dumating tayo dun sa taas, na ang stand ng company for this kind of things is this, na dapat ganito, hindi ka dapat ang argabyado, then I'll take it up there. Which is I already did nung nandun tayo sa previous company natin. Which is, sabi ko, sobrang tuwan-tuwa ako kasi nakakuha ako ng alay talaga na tumulong sa akin when I experienced that.
Hindi naman talaga makikita kung sino talaga yung
totoo, yung totoong alay mo, suportahan ka talaga. Hindi pwedeng yung iiyak mo lang siya. Alam mo yun? Kasi yung work naman kasi ang magandang balance dyan is, ang pangat din naman ng work na walang stress. For me, kasi parang hindi ka nag-grow. So, straight for that, good stress ba? And if yung nandun ka sa sitwasyon na, because of bullying, because of your preference, nagiging parang sobrang outlier ka. No, it doesn't have to be that way. You have to do something about it.
And din sa mga ibang members ng LGBT na parang we don't have enough voices to say kung ano gusto nila sabihin. I think some of them really wanted to choose their own battle na lang.
Actually, alam mo, dun sa sa Pride Network natin dun before Khen, nagulat ako na yung one of the very vocal bantawag dyan na member, when he went out of the company, sa kanya lang sinabi sa akin na yung manager niya, he doesn't want to talk to him, it's because he's gay. Sabi kong ganyan sa kanya, nasa advocacy ka, nandito kami, tapos we are friends with you, tapos wala kang strength, hindi ka nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob na sabihin ito.
To share it, to tell to anyone.
Yes. Sabi ko, ibig sabihin, wala kang believe sa amin, na wala kaming magagawa in your case. I don't think so. Sana kung nagtiwala ka, yun.
Kasi yung tingin nila kasi sa atin, mostly it's more on events, glamour, diba? Party. Pero, I don't know kung ano talaga na kaya naman natin supported at paglaban.
Correct. We are there not just for events. We're there to support people. Yeah. Lalo na kapag dun sa mga needed times na kailangan talaga nila tayo.
Yes, and that is the real work actually of helping someone having that
yung
experience.
Pride Network.
Yes.
Kaya sobrang alam mo nagtampo ko doon sa taong yun. Sabi ko gano'n. Sabi ko, sorry Mars pero sabi ko, parang hindi ka nagtiwala. Sabi na may magagawa ka sa sitwasyon mo nung nandito ka. Sabi ko ganyan. Kung ganyan na pala yung ginagawa sa iyo ng manager mo, ba't hindi ka nagsalita? So ibig sabihin talagang ka lang, gusto mo lang umattend ng mga events sa DNI, ayaw mo talaga i-resolve yung sarili mong issues. Ang sad, sobrang nasad talaga ako nung nalaman.
I want to know who that is!
So if we open up to Dandan sa atin, during our, for hangout session, not sure lang.
'Di ba? Nakakasad yun. Pero sabi ko, nako,
Yeah,
Mars,
hopefully
bahala
sana may
ka.
makita tayo na nagsi-step up talaga, 'no, to address yung mga ganyang
Mm-mm.
issues. Kasi yun nga, tama sabi ni Rafi na dun talaga
Yes.
nagsisimula yung real work talaga natin if we can defend someone against those, mga bullying,
Mm.
ganyan.
Mm.
That's true.
Ayan. So, yun nga, given yung mga ganyang situations, 'no, my last question would be, how can we move forward in addressing that kind of issues concerning the LGBT community? What will be our next step? I know there are a
I,
lot
I,
of platforms na ginagamit, a lot of organizations doing
yes.
raising the awareness and education. But yeah,
Ako,
what will be our next?
y- yun sa akin lang, Ken. Simple lang yun sa akin. I mean, kasi ngayon, in my current company, I'm still learning. So, I'm very new with the company. So, I don't want to get, kilala mo ko, I'm very passionate about
Correct. Yes.
advocacy.
Both of you.
So, gusto ko muna ma-learn yung process ng current company ko ngayon. But then again, ang key dyan is if we want to move, I mean, if we really want to progress,
Mhm.
I mean, yung transition from one state to another, hindi yun madali.
Yes.
Yes.
Pero pag ma-discourage ka at
Yun.
itigil mo yung mga ginagawa ninyo, it won't help at all.
Yep.
Ang sinasabi ko lang is mahirap siya, pero don't be discouraged na mag-move forward. Keep moving forward. Kahit maliliit na steps, kahit maliliit na initiatives towards the NI, it would really help or it would sum up eventually in the end na makakatulong talaga na mag-progress doon sa kung ano mang gustong ma-reach na advocacy, level of advocacy ng company. Yun lang sa akin.
For me, I also believe that Dandan. For me, I always go back to that 3 stages: aware, ally, and advocate. So nasaan kayo doon? Try to identify. So probably nasa aware kayo, and with the awareness, hopefully you find someone who can help you from the management,
Yes.
executive level, because with that backing, it will be really helpful for that awareness to propel you into allyship and advocate.
Correct.
So it's not
Actually,
only events, awareness, and backing of management and executive.
yes.
Plus, don't just put it all on your shoulders. There are
Correct.
a lot of people and a lot of groups outside of the company that will be able to help you out. It's not only you and just you against the world. There are a lot of people actually. There's Dandan, myself,
Business
PFIP.
business
Yeah.
fears, ganun.
But yeah,
Yeah,
there is
that's
a
true,
whole
no? Kahit sa
universe
simple na
helping
bagay
you.
lang.
Totoo na.
Like, for example,
Totoo yun.
educating your friends. Kasi even though your friends, they don't know about LGBT, di na maiwasan natin yung mga unconscious bias.
Yes.
Yun yung mga maliliit na bagay. We already informing them and we're already educating.
Yes, it would really
Start
help.
with your group, start
Yes,
with
small
your
group.
small unit or department. Hopefully, every month you can have an activity that will make them aware that, oh, there is something like this, something
Correct.
interesting to learn. And hopefully it will be echoed up to management, and a manager or an executive will be able to sponsor, back you up with your activities, and then draft something like an objective. O, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Awareness muna. Awareness. Start with that.
And hopefully, this Pride, though all of the activities are being done virtually, so hopefully yung iba makaka-join and
Yes.
na-educate them. Yung mga...
Actually, having the Zoom and all the online meeting is very good, especially to those who are not out in the closet.
Yes. Yung hindi pa talaga ready to come out.
Yes, because they have the opportunity to listen in, to learn without them being out there, being recognized as an LGBT.
Correct.
If they are not comfortable being recognized right away. Because in Zoom, you can actually change your name and just put a letter there or an initial. And whatever initial you can put there, see?
So last na lang, no, before we end this and before we give you your last message. Let's have a quick fast talk lang to the both of you.
Fast
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, fast talk. Let's start with Shanghai or
Okay.
senior high?
Ano daw? Ano?
Shanghai or senior high?
Shanghai?
Or
Or
senior
senior high?
high?
What
Senior
is
high. Charot. Senior high. Siyempre, di tayo sa fresh. Charot.
Oh, yes. Fresh
I
na
don't know what
fresh.
is Shanghai, but I know
Shanghai
senior
is lumpiang.
high.
Yeah.
You have to choose between lumpiang Shanghai or a senior high student. Ganon.
Correct.
Okay. Shanghai.
Shanghai, Shanghai. May rubber o wala?
Rubber.
Rubber.
Good. Long or short?
Short na lang.
Ako short. Shorts.
Local or international?
Pwede both.
Pwede both.
Pwede both.
Suga pa.
Pwede both.
Eat or swallow?
Spit.
Dandan.
Swallow yan si Dandan eh. Swallow si Dandan.
Ah, amazing.
Dandan, spit and swallow daw.
Spit.
Wow. Yes or no?
No.
Ano? No.
Yes or no daw. No.
Yeah, yes or no? Mamahalin mo pa
No.
rin ba ang partner mo kahit malaman mong may is a person living with HIV?
Yes.
Tao
Yes.
naman yung minamahal mo eh.
Correct. Hindi naman yung sakit, diba?
Correct. Ayun, so it ends our fast talk for now. Any last message since we're celebrating Pride Month na happy Pride to the both of you and thank you so much.
Happy
for
Pride! I
accepting.
miss you!
Yes, hope to see you guys soon. So any
Happy
last
Pride,
message?
Khen.
Happy Pride. Ako, ang last message ko lang is know your truth and live your truth. So that will actually gain respect and not only acceptance.
Yes, Dandan.
Taray, di ba?
Miss
Huwag
Universe!
kang ma-pressure, Dandan.
hindi ako makakeme kasi nga paalis na ako ng cafe. But then again, I mean, don't discourage by the setbacks that you will be encountering in your journey. Just keep
Yeah.
moving forward. Yun lang.
Yes, we're here to help you.
Yes.
So thank you again. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to meet you again in our next episode. And thank you so
Of
much.
course, why not?
Of course!
Yun.
See
Thank
you
you so
soon.
much. Happy Pride to the
Eh,
both of you.
Happy
Happy
Pride!
Pride!
Ingat!
Bye.
Love you guys!
Love you.
I love you
Mwah.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!
Thank you for listening to our first episode, LGBT in the Corporate. Corporate arena may sometimes make you or break you. But as long as you know your worth, your rights and privileges, you can stand tall. Always remember that respect is for people who deserve it and not for those who demand it. To all members of the LGBTQ community, do not be afraid to live your truth and be who you want to be. And lastly, owning your story and loving yourself is the bravest thing you'll ever do. For more updates, be sure to like, follow, and share our official Facebook page, Pride Talks with Khen. On behalf of Quattro Productions, wishing you all a happy Pride.